is rare in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So that just lets you know how cold it is.
Yeah, it's like 32 degrees. It's right at freezing here today. So hopefully we get some sunshine.
Yeah. Did you get any eggs this morning? No.
Zero.
I got one sitting on one right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got only got like 3 or 4 yesterday. So
oh man, it's been brutal. I can't explain it. I mean, to go from 30 eggs these last couple of weeks, I mean, every day we were getting anywhere from 28 to like 33 eggs. And then my wife comes in and she says, "Hey, did you grab the eggs today?" And I said,
oh no.
"No." "Why?" And she said, "Well, I just went out there and there's no eggs out there." And I said, "What?" I said, "We got, I think it was like 31 or 32 eggs the day before." And I said,
And all of them stop at the
"What?"
exact same time.
Yes. I mean, no one laid. And that's what is just, it's crazy to me. I really can't explain it. I have no idea.
I can tell mine have slowed down.
Yeah.
I've given them a little bit of cat food, dry cat food, the whole 9 yards. So I've tried everything to pick it back up. But I hope I get one a day from every one of mine. I got 16 chickens, so
Nice. And see, last year, our chickens, I mean, they laid all winter long. And now at that time we had 16, but we were getting 12 to 13 eggs a day, even all throughout the winter. And that's
yeah,
what's crazy is like when we had that really bad cold snap, when it was, negative 37 degrees here. I
yep,
think it was like negative 35 to negative 37 with the wind chill. They were still laying.
that's
So,
crazy.
I mean, I don't know if it's the, fluctuation in temperature or, I mean, I'm dumbfounded, man.
I know what you mean. Yeah, whenever I saw that, I said, is he really getting none?
Yep.
Zero.
Zero.
I saw your
Yep.
video right before we went.
Absolute zero.
I saw your video right before we came on here. So they put some more signs up.
Yes, they did.
I hear you. Uh,
I know, it's funny. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the live. Colin and I are gonna be here talking about our homesteads and ask each other some various questions. We thank you for tuning in here.
yeah, y'all make sure y'all like this thing and get this thing out there. I know the thing said 11:30, so I'm gonna wait till 11:30 till we start really asking each other questions.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Uh,
Yeah, tap that screen, guys.
yeah, tap that screen as many times as you can so a lot more people can see this thing and get it out there. It's cold, son.
Yeah,
It's cold.
there's some, like, if you go look at the comment section of those videos where I'm talking about, no eggs, and I mean, there's so much speculation out there between, stuff in the feed, and the feed in my case is not the issue because I buy 1,000 pounds at a time from a local feed mill just 15 minutes up the road from me, and I bought this feed over 3 months ago, and so I'm still feeding the same feed that I bought 3 months ago, and they were laying just fine. And then it's just abrupt. Nothing has gotten in the run. Walt does a wonderful job of keeping, everything safe. They're obviously not afraid of Walt because he's around them all the time.
Yeah,
I just can't pinpoint the issue, man.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Greg, I see your question. I hope you're still in here. Blackberries, they grow best in a zone 3 through 8, 9-ish. Most of mine grow in that area. If you're curious, uh, link in the bio if you're interested in any of them. If you got any other questions, though, let me know, Greg. Anyway, it's about showtime. But so
Loving
Sammy,
Heart Space, thank you for those gifts. I really appreciate that.
so It's 70 degrees where you are, and you got hair too, so that helps keep the things a little bit warm.
Yes, it does. I know. I bet you're cold right now.
I'm freezing. So, all right. So we kick this thing up. All right. Since it's 11:30. All right. First question I got for you right now is, how long has the beard been growing, man?
Well, this time we're going on about 3.5 years or so.
Three and
I
a half.
grew it out several years ago. I started growing it out and I let it go about 3 years. And I mean, it got to be about here or so. And then I completely cut it off. I mean, I used to wear my hair like high and tight. Like, I mean, it was a number two on top and a bald fade. And then I, just started letting it grow. And so now we're at 3.5 years and
That's funny. That's funny.
I know it's getting long. I think I'm about done though. I don't really think I want it to get much longer because then it can start getting dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, I bet so.
Yep.
I don't like mine going past maybe 2 inches. But after that, I start hearing it from my mom who's watching right now. She'll start complaining on about it.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, it looks nice. It looks nice.
Thank you. Yeah. So like I get either just the polar opposites. Either people love it or people are just like, you need to cut that off. You
Yeah.
know.
The, the
So
only the only thing I have a problem is when you try to eat and this stuff right here gets a little long. It's not fun to eat. It starts getting
yeah.
floppy.
Yeah, I try to keep the mustache trimmed up because yeah, when you're eating, you just create a mess.
All right. So I told you I was gonna hit you with one that you probably ain't ready for, and so I'm gonna hit you with this question.
Okay.
One of your very first videos. If someone was watching, scroll all the way down to one of his very first videos. You got a cat, Simba. Tell me about the cat, man. I know it's probably not here anymore, but I knew I'd hit you with a
Right.
good one.
Yeah, so when we got here to the homestead, I wanted to get a couple of barn cats, to make sure we kept the mice at bay and all that stuff. So we got three barn cats, and they stuck around for a while. And Simba was one of those cats that, I mean, he would just jump up on you and wanted to be loved and held all the time. And I mean, he was one of my good friends, like I treat all my animals here. And sadly, I mean, just one day, one of them disappeared. One was laying underneath. I've got a Kawasaki mule side by side that, I'd ride around, and it was laying underneath it.
No,
And yeah. And
man,
so
I didn't even mean to hit you with that one.
that's okay. I
But
mean,
I just,
things happen, but
yeah,
one ended up running away. Um, I hit
that was
one.
like the coolest cat I'd ever seen. I was like, man. And you know
Yeah,
what? Most orange cats, just a fun fact for you, most orange cats are that way. My
yeah.
brother had one,
So
very similar type. Uh, you can tell they all pretty much have, I guess you could say, personality or characteristics, but yeah, most orange cats are that way, which is really weird.
yeah, and then Simba ended up just missing one day, and I would assume that either like a coyote got him or something like that. But I actually have another orange cat. He's right beside me. His name's Loki. But my wife brings him inside now.
I bet so. I bet so.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the real stuff. So, what got you into homesteading, bud? I know you've been in it, or you bought that place in 2022 or 2020, and you go from
2020.
there.
Yeah.
And you go from there. You take off from there.
So basically, my wife and I mean, we both lived in the city, and um, we just ended up having a discussion one day of we wanted to we wanted to move to the country and get away from the city, and we wanted to raise our own food and grow our own food. And at the time, I was, working, and my job was an hour and a half away from home. And so when we talked about moving, we said, if we move, it's going to be our last move. We have to find our, forever home that we're going to be in, and it's got to be closer to my job. And it just so happened that we were, you know, looking at properties, and this place had just hit the market, and we jumped on it, because we talked for a long time that we really didn't say that we wanted to like homestead, but we said that we, like we just wanted to, have a big garden, raise a couple animals, and basically be away from the city and, like the hustle and bustle of living in the city. So that's basically what sparked it. And then when we got out here, I mean, it kind of just like it took off from there. Like we started to enjoy it so much that, we started to increase. So,
well, what's so funny about that is, this chicken won't stop. Will not stop. My last interview, they didn't say a word. Maybe they're trying to talk yours into doing something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty cool, man. I look every day for my final 10 acre tract or something like that.
Yeah.
But that really hasn't been available in my area. My area's kind of booming right now, and finding land around me is kind of tough. But I do live in a very rural area. Everybody has a southern drawl around here, so. But anyway, well, that's cool. That's cool. So I want to know, how many animals do you really got right now?
I have a poodle that lives inside with us.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got Loki, the cat. We had two other cats, but they ended up running away. So we've got Walt, my livestock guardian dog. We have 3 goats, which Diesel, he's our buck. And then we have Ruby and Percy, which is our 2 does. And I'm pretty sure that they're bred now. Pretty sure.
Okay.
So hopefully we're going to have babies here around June or so. And then I've got 40 hens, 3 roosters, and then we have, I want to say 14 silkies, but I think 4 of those silkies are roosters. So we're going to end up getting rid of 3 of them because 4 roosters with nine hens way too much. We're just going to have 1 silky rooster and then, like 10 silky hens, but we're going to end up hatching more. We want to have about 15 or so.
I got you. What kind of chickens do you have? I see somebody put that comment out there.
So we've got, I wish my wife was out here because she's a whole lot better than
my wife knows every one of these ones we have.
Yep, she knows
she wanted
all.
The green eggs, the brown eggs, the blue eggs, the whole 9 yards. We got them.
Yep.
Right back there.
Right. So I know we have like black copper Morans.
Good deal.
We have the and guys, I'm not good with the specific names. So, but like the Easter eggers, the
I know what you're saying. I know.
Something like the bluebell or something like that, but that almost sounds like the ice cream. So,
yeah.
We have, man, I really wish she was out here because she knows all of the specific names.
You told me that she needs to be on camera more. Go get her. I'm just
she does. She does need to be on camera more. I wish I could get her to be on camera more.
All right. So what's your typical day look like over there at the homestead? I mean, what do you typically have to do on a day-to-day basis?
So basically, I get up in the morning and I'll just kind of start, you know, from the morning. I get up, I check the wood boiler because it's cold here. I always got to fill it up in the morning. So I fill it up, and then I go check on Walt, make sure he's got his food for the morning, which usually consists of uh, just some dog food. I usually give him an egg. He gets chicken hearts and livers and stuff like that. And then I check on the goats, make sure that they have their water. I always check my animals over every morning just to make sure that everybody's still doing okay. Right now, of course, there's not really much vegetation out in their pasture to have, so I make sure that their hay feeder's full. And then I go over to the chicken coop and make sure they've got plenty of food and their water's full. And same with the silkies. And as far as the animals and stuff, that's basically it. And then I've always got a plan from the night before of the projects that I'm working on. So I can go ahead and get busy after I make sure all my animals are taken care of. I can go ahead and get busy on working on something. I'm always working on something around here. That's the great thing about a homestead is I'm never bored.
Yeah. My mom would call it piddling. Uh, there's always something to do around in our yard too. Um,
Yeah.
so, what's been the most rewarding thing about having your homestead?
Oh man, there's so I really think the most rewarding there there's a difference between what's rewarding and what I really love about it. But if we're talking about rewarding, I would say like the first year, which I mean is basically besides a garden, this last year, was our first year of really raising our own food. So like we raised a couple of pigs, and which that was fun. Oh my gosh, if I could have 1,000 pigs, and I probably could because I do have the room, but I just don't have the setup for it. But pigs are amazing animals. I absolutely love them. But raising
Yep.
those and then like raising our meat chickens, that was our meat sources that we raised here. And that was really rewarding. And then of course, we grow and my wife is a canner. She cans and preserves, and she's amazing at that. We have a whole pantry just stocked.
Man, that's what it's
So
all about.
that's the most rewarding part.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I've never done any canning, uh, but I do have all the supplies to do it for this year. Uh, so it will be all trial and error this year.
Yeah.
But the goal is for me to eliminate the grocery store as much as possible. Uh,
Absolutely.
and I don't think my family realizes all the stuff that we're about to have in our yard
Yeah.
growing this year to do that. But
Yeah.
so what meat do you actually really try to preserve yourself and that kind of stuff? I know you hunt and all that kind of stuff, but I saw
Yep.
you got a bunch of other projects on your homestead going on right now too.
Yeah. So one food source that we're getting ready to add is rabbits, and I'm super excited about that. I've done, I can't say a lot of research, but I've done quite a bit of research. And rabbit, first of all, it tastes just like chicken, and I'm kind of ticked off that I'm 32 years old, and this past year is the first time I've ever had rabbit. And no one's ever told me how good it was. Like it
Well,
is so good.
you were telling me that, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, I don't know about all that. But hey, down here, people kill a squirrel. I don't know if you saw my TikTok video. I mean, shoot, that dude probably ate that beaver, for all I
Yeah.
know. You just people have their own little things they like to kill and eat around here.
Yeah.
I've seen it all pretty much, but I thought it was fascinating that you were doing rabbits.
Yeah, and one of the things about rabbits is they're it really comes down to a opinion, but they really are like the most sustainable meat source because they reproduce so quickly, and then in their gestation range is 30 days. So by the time they're bred, and they could have, of course, it ranges of how many kits. That's what baby rabbits are called, kits. But uh, I mean, they could have just say like 10 at a time. Well, those are ready to process 8 to 10 weeks.
I,
So, and I mean, they just reproduce so quickly. Now, of course, you don't get as much meat off of them, but don't quote me on this, but I believe that one of the things that I was reading was one buck and three does can produce up to 600 pounds of rabbit meat a year.
that's pretty crazy. That's pretty
That
crazy.
is, I mean, like that's half of a cow.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's not beef, but I mean that's going by weight. That's a lot of that's a lot of meat.
That's a lot of meat, and that's something you got to buy
Yeah.
at the store. You ain't got to buy it at the store.
Yep. Right.
Hunter, I saw your comment. Yes, the link in my bio. I did a video on my blackberries the other day. Explain how easy they are to grow. You can't get rid of them once you plant them. Just so you know, they just start multiplying on their own, and that's why I sell everything in 3-packs. So if you got any other questions, make sure if you comment or go to my Etsy store and send me a message there, I can answer your questions too. Um, if you got any questions though, make sure you feel free to comment, and we'll try to get to it. Um, so, what's the direction of the homestead? Like, you're adding more stuff to it, but you got all these acres. I know you're going to be doing a lot more things as the year progresses.
Yeah. So I really did plan. I've got a 19-acre field right now that I cash rent out to a farmer to grow crops. And this year I'm taking over 5 acres of that. Um, my original plan was to get some cattle, raise some beef, but I'm really on the fence, no pun intended on that, but um, I'm really on the fence of doing that just because the startup cost of number one, like all the fencing, um, planting the pasture, because right now it's just corn stalks. That um, I'm I'm really undecided of what I want to do with that, because the startup cost for cattle it's expensive, man. And I've had several people tell me, if you want to go broke, raise cattle. But I don't know. Like I hear that with horses, of course, but which
Yeah,
that's not in the plan at all. I will never have horses here, but
yeah. I think my kids would probably love to have horses. I don't think so. I just think they
it's a
don't
big
do.
expense.
Yeah, they don't do nothing for you. At the end of the
Yeah.
day. Uh, so I hope my wife's not listening to that. Uh,
I
so
think one thing that I want to do with, taking over more of that field is I want to really increase my garden space. Like I want to have like a half acre strawberry patch.
I hear you.
Like a big strawberry patch. I want to have a big pumpkin patch. Um, you know, that's a
Yeah.
good kind of like revenue source to where like, people could buy your pumpkins and,
Yes. I'm sitting
pick
here.
strawberries.
People don't realize. People don't realize. I mean, they can make some extra money just from having the plants available to pretty much the public. My front yard, I have a line of blackberry bushes where you can literally park your car on the side of the road and pick them if you wanted to. And I
Yeah.
have that designed so if anybody wants to come over and get them, they can. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if I'm here or not. I know they're coming. Uh, barter the barter system's for real.
Yeah.
So uh, I think eventually a lot of people are going to start doing the same thing if prices start getting uncontrollable.
Right. And another thing I want to do with that field too is I want to take, a portion of it there again and create, an orchard, have, apples, some, apple trees and peaches. We got a couple of peach trees in our yard right now, and they actually produced pretty well this year. We got several peaches out of them. I'd like to do pears and all that. So an orchard is definitely on the list
That's good.
of that. But if I end up taking over that whole 19 acres, um, I would probably, divide it up into pastures where I could rotate animals,
Yeah.
where animals wouldn't be in that one same pasture all the time. You could rotate them and, give one pasture a break,
Yeah.
and I have enough room out there to have 3 or 4 pastures.
So have you speaking of rotating, have you done the chicken tractor situation before?
Yes, I built 2 chicken tractors last year.
Okay. Uh, it's just neat. If you got a lot of land, I think it's perfect for that.
Yes,
But
and so easy and clean.
yeah,
Oh my
I'd
god.
imagine. And my chickens, it didn't take them but a week to be on bare dirt. You know,
Oh yeah.
in their normal spot. So that's
Yep.
just fascinating. So I didn't know if you had tried that.
Yep.
It's getting close to the 30-minute mark, and I know I told you we'd do it about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Uh, what did I ask you before we go? I need you to tell everybody how you make money on the homestead. Like, what do you sell, and how can they buy from you, and all that kind of stuff.
So, we're really starting to get that going. Um, we've got merch launching soon. That's going to be, coming out within the next couple of weeks. I make custom signs, either CNC engraved signs or laser signs. Um, we are going now. This is probably going to be, for local folks, but we are going to, start selling, um, chickens. We're going to start hatching and selling chickens. And this coming year, we're going to be, selling more pigs, that we raise here, um, and also rabbits. So that's a few of the revenue streams that we're starting here. But
Did you ever think you were going to get into that though? Like, did you ever think, hey, I'm gonna sell like rabbits for or rabbit meat? Go ahead and process them. Or did you ever think you were going to get into that?
I did, man. And the crazy thing is I've never been around any of this stuff in my entire life
Okay, that's what I
until,
wanted to know because, dude, I was the same way. I had never touched dirt. Okay,
yep,
until about maybe 2 years ago. So that's pretty. That's
I know
pretty. Just
it
opposite
is.
side of the spectrum, son. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep. Sure is.
you got any examples of a sign around you can grab right quick and show anybody, or no?
I did
Oh, okay, okay,
that one
perfect,
right there.
perfect.
I did that one right there. I've got
You're fine.
the
You're fine.
Grassy Fork Acres the Grassy Fork Acre one that I did on a big piece of walnut. It's inside, but
I
I've
got
got a video on my page. Of course, I post a lot of videos. It's quite a bit. It's far down there, but and
go
then of course, seen the one sign that I did for
for Nate. For Nate,
Nate.
yeah.
Yeah,
If y'all were just watching, go check out Jordan's video on it's the title of it, "Sign for a Friend." I've watched it maybe 3 or 4 times, just because it's so awesome. It kind of shows you exactly what he does. Uh, but it's pretty neat. I mean, he laser sketches into wood, and I think everybody should go check it out for sure.
thanks, man. Yeah, I really do make a lot of signs. It stays busy. I mean, I've got a lot of people reaching out. If you're interested, if anyone's viewing and they're interested in a sign, if you click the link in my bio, it's got my email in there. Send me an email what you're looking for. We can collab back and forth, and I can make you something up. I'll ship it wherever it needs to go. And so yeah, hit me up on that email and talk to me if you want a sign made.
Yeah, that's where I was getting to because I wanted everybody to know. Just because we're on TikTok, don't mean we're making money off of TikTok. We have to find other ways to make it. So,
Right.
but anyway, uh, it's getting a little cold, and I know I told you 30 minutes, so I'm gonna keep
Okay,
my
man.
promise. But anyway, I appreciate it. We'll have to do this again, bud.
Yeah, sounds good. It's good talking to you.
All right, man. Have a good weekend. I'll catch you later.
All right.
All
See
right.
you.
See you.
See you.